Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 tier list video. This might be like the last type of one I do unless I can think of something else. But this one, I know it already looks confusing. But what it is basically a full duo tier list. So I did soloing tier list last time. Or not last time, but 2 times before that, where basically I ranked all of the schools by how good they can solo. Now I'm going to be ranking it by duo, which is entirely different. It's very different from what I did last time because it changes everything. Whether it's in a duo or not, it's just, entirely different. Now, I didn't know this when I created it. Originally, I thought that it was going to be the resolution I did it, which was wider than taller, but it turned it all into squares. So now it looks like this, which is extremely cursed, but I'm going to do it anyway. I ordered them in how I made them. It was very easy. I just went fire, fire ice, firestorm, so on and so forth. And every single school I did, it got smaller and smaller. But we're going to get into it because this is going to be probably about 20 minutes like the world video, I'd imagine. But it probably won't be too bad. So take notes if you want. If you have a friend you want to duo with them, here we go. These are my opinion. Well, this is my opinion on the best way it can go. Now, fire is probably, in my opinion, not very good because fires both have the same. Obviously, they're gonna have the same weakness. The same school can be good, but I feel like fire and fire paired together would not be the best. Both because they both don't have the best health, and they will have good damage later on. I'd say early game, not that good. Late game, decently good to very good. Fire Ice is decently iconic, but I wouldn't say it's the best. I would put it more in a B tier. It's definitely decent because they make up for each other's weaknesses. Fire has decent damage, Ice does not. Fire has low health, Ice does not. Fire has low accuracy, Ice has good accuracy, so on and so forth. Fire has decently low resist, Ice has high resist. So they kind of cover each other's weaknesses good. It wouldn't be a bad school to solo with. Firestorm, I've done this before, and it is definitely a very powerful combination. Obviously, you both have the same weakness of low health, but you both do so much damage that it just kind of compensates for that. So I'd put Firestorm up to an A tier. Now, let me warn you, there will probably only be a few S tiers, and those S tiers are going to be the ones that I kind of know work together really well. Fire Myth is pretty good. I would put it around the same level as Fire Ice. It's decent. It's not awful, but it's not the best either. It's decent late game and not really early game. Fire Life can be really good. I would probably put that at an A tier with Firestorm because Life can heal the fire, who that kind of makes up for the weakness that he has low health, and then the fire can hit, right? Fire Death. This actually, this might be one of my first S tiers, actually. I feel like anything paired with Death is a decent combination, but Fire and Death definitely do complement each other very well. I would consider, because Fire is a very heavy-hitting school, it has a lot of damage, and is decent just all around, while Death has some of the best, they have health sapping, they have versatility. They can heal if they want to with sacrifice. Very good. Overall, I would put them up there. Fire Balance, I'm going to also put up here at a very powerful combination as well because Balance has a lot of blades. Balance can do decent damage. Overall, very good. This is my kind of ranking for Fire. You can see this kind of reflects because it's going to be like this, right? Fire, I put in A tier, so most likely it's going to be skewed where most of the schools with fire are going to be up here. Obviously fire I'm going to put a bit lower just because it's kind of cursed. But that's that. Again, if you disagree, let me know. Like, if you had a good experience with any one of these, let me know. Obviously, you might not agree with all these. Ice is probably going to be my first F tier. Ice and Ice is just the most cursed thing you could possibly do. Now, Ice on itself isn't bad enough to be F tier, but you pair Ice with Ice, and then all of a sudden it's just 2 decently weak wizards, and it's just very cursed. Ice Storm, I wouldn't say is any particularly powerful. Like, it's not as powerful as Firestorm. I would just put it as C. It's not very good, but it's there. Ice Myth is another kind of cursed one. Myth doesn't do the best damage in the world. Ice, you know, actually, I'll put it in D tier, but either way, it's cursed, but not super cursed. Ice Life is also pretty cursed, not gonna lie. That's pretty bad. Ice Death, I'd put probably up with Ice Storm, maybe. The reason why Ice Storm isn't higher is just the fact that I feel like it's just kind of Storm paired with any other wizard, which, you know, it's not anything, like, Ice won't particularly help a Storm, realistically. All they can do is shield, maybe, and even then, shields aren't the most useful for Storms most of the time, because most of the time they're not going to die. But they can shield, which is powerful, which is why I'm putting these up in the C tier rather than lower. Ice Balance is another kind of cursed one. It's like the balance won't do too much damage and the ice won't. Balance kind of is meant to blade on top of blades people are already doing. Ice won't really be hitting. They don't even get their blade until level 38, so Storm is an extremely powerful combo. It's actually funny. I would probably put it in like B tier, honestly. It can be extremely powerful, but it's not the best in the world. Storm Myth I do like. I would put it probably at an A tier. I like how they kind of cover each other's weaknesses. Myth I do like a lot more nowadays and is very good. Storm Life is probably also going to be an S tier because Life can obviously heal the Storm whenever it gets weak. Storm is an incredibly heavy hitter, so I'd put it up there. Storm Death is also very good. I'd put it at A tier. Very powerful combination, and overall just good. Storm and Balance, I struggle between A and S tier. I might put it in S tier, actually, because just with the blades the two can do, they're very powerful. Extremely powerful, in fact. Very good. Myth and Myth is kind of cursed as well. I would put it at D tier. It's about the same as Fire. It's just the fact that it's two of the same school is very cursed. Myth Life, I guess C tier is fine. It's very much, you know, Myth would be the hitter, Life the healer. Myth Death, I do like that combination. I'll put it up to B tier. Decent, pretty good. Myth Balance, I would put probably at a C tier as well. Not as good as Myth Death. I just feel like Death paired with anything is going to be pretty good. It's going to be really good, honestly. The only one I didn't really put it as that good at would be with Ice, just because Ice kind of isn't as good in regards to Death, because Death doesn't really need shields because they can heal so much, which is why I'd put it down there. Life is another cursed combo. I would put them at F tier. Just not that good all around in regards to questing and doing stuff like that. Life Death, I've always loved Life Death. I would put it at a heavy A tier. Actually, I'd put it at B tier. Now, the reason for this is that Life mixed with Death, Life doesn't have as much purpose for healing the Death. I just really like the combo between the two, and I think it's really fun. They both are cursed with some of the longest spell animations in the game, so if you don't want that, I don't know if you should do that. Yeah. Life Balance is somewhere around a D tier. It's not that good. It's not that bad. It's more bad than good, honestly. It's just not the best in regards to doing this. So there's that. Death and Death is honestly going to be a very powerful combo. It's probably the best school-on-school combo that you can get. It's similar to Storm, which I put right here. But Death has two people who are going to be constantly healing themselves with the enemy's health, and it's just going to be an extremely ridiculously powerful combo. They're probably never going to die. So there you go. Honestly, they probably could even be an S tier. I will put them in S tier just because Death would never die. It's actually ridiculous. Out of curiosity, where did I put Storm Death? I put Storm Death up here. Yeah, that's fine. I've done Storm Death before, and it is very fun. Death and Balance is pretty good as well. we can put him here maybe, or I'll put him here with Death and these other 3 schools. And then finally you have Balance, which is pretty cursed. That's like especially against a balance boss, is gonna kind of suck, but it won't be too bad. You can just spam judgments, sandstorms if you want. But yeah, so we've made it to the end of the tier list. Listening to some sexy Dragonspire music. Let me actually change this. Here, you can see me changing it actually, which is funny. Let's see, where should we go? Let's go to Avalon. Okay, you actually can't see. All right. That's not what I wanted. All right, there we go. Right, just to make sure. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't leak my Wizard101 username. There we go. That's my tier list. Let me make the page smaller a little bit so you can kind of see it better. Here you go. That's my tier list. Obviously, to kind of look at this, I feel like to look at it, you actually need to follow along with the video because it does look extremely painful on the eyes. But I think my tier list is pretty fair. A lot of things like Life and Ice are going to be lower than they would be, like especially like Ice and Life Ice. What are they going to do? They're both extremely weak, and then you just add like basically they don't complement each other very well. That's what I'm saying. As opposed to things like Balance and Storm, you have Fire and Death, Life and Storm, stuff like that. Maybe I would reorder some of these. These were kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing, but let me know if you disagree with any. Let me know if you've ever quested with a friend and what school you've been, because I've quested with a friend quite a few times. I've done Fire Balance, which is why it's a solid A tier. I've done Storm and Death. That's very good. Overall, I've done quite a few of these. I've done a lot of these, so let me know what you think. I do have a kind of, it's not like I've not done a lot of these. I've actually done most of these, which means I can kind of, in my mind, I can kind of sort some of these. So let me know what you think. If you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.